Welcome to another episode of the Kickout podcast. My name is Ace.
One more time. Big up Daft Punk. They split up yesterday. Announced that Daft Punk split up. Legendary.
Skillet, you meant to just give your name.
Sorry, yeah, my name's Skillet.
And I am Thunder Dan Marley from the Phoenix Suns.
And my name is Banks.
That's right. And we are here to not talk about Daft Punk or NBA in the 90s. We are here to talk wrestling.
Ace Professional puts it back together. And Ace has to put it back together and form it into a sentence. Thank you, Ace.
Skillet, come back here. Flu, come. Like, I gotta just bring it back to where.
But Daft Punk was amazing.
Nah, but I mean, tie Daft Punk in with wrestling if you're a bad man. Go on.
All right, Daft Punk, right? Two wrestlers that wear masks, luchadors, Mexican wrestlers. They wear masks, right? Daft Punk, a duo, two people. What is a duo in wrestling? A tag team. If Daft Punk was a tag team champions, they would have won it multiple times.
Do you know what? I could have did that better because do you know that the two members from Daft Punk, Chris and Michael, CM Punk.
Oh.
I made that up. I don't know what their names are.
Yeah, I know you did not. When you said Chris and Mike, they're French. Christopher and Michael.
Christophe.
Anyway, listen. Sorry, I've got to hold up because my hair, I've got the Uncle Phil. So basically, I can't grow hair here. But I'm like,
my heart bleeds for you. Look at this.
Yeah. But I've got all of this bits coming out, and just this part is just not looking good at the moment.
Jesus.
So, yeah. But we are fresh off the back of what I thought was a good pay-per-view, actually, Elimination Chamber. I kind of enjoyed it. Let's go around the room quickly. Like, what did you guys think out of 5 for Elimination Chamber? Flu.
2.
2.
2.
Wow. Well, why? Skillet.
I'm gonna say 3.5.
Mex.
3.
Yeah, I would have said a 3.5 as well. I want Flu. Why 2, man?
I thought the opening match was good. Obviously, they're my kind of people. And then I thought the close. Yeah, just I just didn't get excited about any of it. Do you know what I mean? I thought the first match was quite good, but pretty obvious what was happening. It was either going to be Cesaro or Daniel Bryan at the end, losing to Roman Reigns, but it was good. And the final match, I just felt a bit, I don't know. Yeah.
The second chamber wasn't as good as the first one, I don't think. And there's always that bit of exhaustion after watching for so long. And if they don't make it exciting, then whatever in it. But the ending, I think, was what made it, really something to remember.
Skillet?
I enjoyed it. I think it was the fact they only had a few matches really, really helped. Short, sweet. Felt like a WWE pay-per-view that felt like a takeover. But not as good as takeover in terms of quality and excitement, but in terms of how the card went, 5 matches kind of thing. You know what I mean? How takeover has 5 card matches kind of thing. Yeah, a bit like that.
Imagine this pay-per-view was less running time than Raw.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It was 2 hours and a half, and Raw was a whole 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's nuts. I enjoyed it, man. Although I did call like the Miz cash in.
Yes, you did.
I still didn't necessarily know what was going to happen. Although I knew Roman Reigns would win, there was a few surprise moments for me, which I like. It wasn't as obvious as some pay-per-views have been.
I woke up to a lot of Kickout followers tweeting me saying Ace was right. Ace was right. I was like, right, I haven't watched the match yet. Thanks, guys.
I was only 50% right. Right.
What's that?
I was only 50% right.
No, you were mostly right. You just got the wrong opponent, but you said that he was going to go to WWE WrestleMania as the champion, and he will.
Well, will he?
Yes, he will. We'll talk about that.
I don't know if he will. We'll see.
Talk about that.
I told you guys Riddle was going to win, though. The US Championship.
You did. So let's talk about the start of the kickoff. It was John Morrison, Elias, Mustafa Ali, Mustafa Ali with Mace and T-Bar and Ricochet, a fatal 4-way. The winner will get a spot in the United States Championship match. And did anyone watch this? Because I didn't.
I caught it like halfway through, but I wasn't. It was a pre-show, so I wasn't even really watching with all my attention. But you know, they took Keith Lee out of the match, the US Championship match. They were determined to add someone else in, and that confirmed for me what I was saying to you guys, that Matt Riddle was going to win, because they needed to take this belt off Bobby Lashley without Bobby Lashley being pinned for it. They could have had the US Championship match with just Riddle and Bobby Lashley. But
what do you think the original plan was?
I think this was always the plan. I've
Right.
been saying this for some
Keith-
weeks. So I thought Matt Riddle would have pinned Keith Lee.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because Keith Lee beat Matt Riddle on Raw some weeks ago. I thought Matt Riddle would have got his win back over Keith Lee and become US champion without Bobby Lashley being involved in the finish.
Why did Keith Lee get taken off? Because he's injured?
Apparently, but a lot of people don't believe he's injured, and a lot of people believe he's out of favor.
No, I don't think he's
I think he was originally meant to be doing all that, talking about Raw, but do you think Strowman had to step in and kind of take what he would have been doing on this night, taking on Lashley after all of that? Do you know what I mean?
I don't necessarily think so, because I think they're trying to set up Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon at WrestleMania.
They're trying to shoehorn it in, aren't they? It was really from nowhere. From the Shane just came out and went, you know what? Why don't you just shut up, yeah? And it was like, what are you doing? Anyway, moving on.
I don't know if Keith Lee's in trouble or not.
I don't think he's in trouble.
I hope not.
You just don't think they're invested in him?
I think he might just be injured, like genuinely.
Yeah, I think he's injured. If you look at his age,
It's work. So it's me with my Ace Super booking again. Are you ready?
it could be a work. It could be a part of her business.
It could be a work for Keith Lee to come back to go against Matt Riddle, to then take the US title, to then join the Hurt Business.
Yeah, I think that's
to have everything.
Yeah.
All the gold.
Run that.
I think you might be right.
I mean,
Do you like that? Do you like that?
makes a lot of sense as well.
Philly, what do you think?
What I think is, I want to know, they keep talking about the Thunderdome being critically acclaimed and award-winning.
What
I
award?
want to know, where is this award ceremony?
When did this happen?
And the winner is the WWE with the Thunderdome. And someone's coming up to collect. Thank you very much. Yes, I'd like to appreciate. Thank you. We're very proud of the Thunderdome. It's a big TV. Thank you for the award. Thank you for the critical acclaim. So that's what I want to know.
Honestly, for the last couple of months, I've been asking myself the same thing every time I've heard them say that.
So Daniel Bryan finally gets his first W in months. Daniel Bryan defeated Cesaro, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, King Corbin, and Sami Zayn at the Elimination Chamber match, and got to face Roman Reigns immediately after the match. But before we talk about what happened between Reigns and Daniel Bryan, Max, some of your highlights, some of your favorite moments of this match, please.
Cesaro doing pull-ups from the top of the chamber.
He didn't do long enough though. He only did 2.
I know, but it's a risk in it.
It's still very impressive. It's still
it was still impressive. What else happened in this match? I thought Baron Corbin was really good when he entered. He disrupted what was going on between Bryan and Cesaro, but he was good. He didn't last too long. He didn't eliminate no one. He just done what he needed to do and got out of there.
But looked strong though, didn't he?
Yeah,
they booked him strong first. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I like the little Ring of Honor graduates kind of session we got between Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Daniel Bryan. I like Sami Zayn trying to link up with Kevin Owens to go against everyone else, and Kevin Owens was having it.
I love when Kofi was trolling. No, we talk about that later.
That's the next one. That's the next
one. Wrong match. Let's go back.
I think the highlight for me was the Kevin Owens getting his arm stuck in the Elimination Chamber door.
Me too. That elimination was amazing.
Jey Uso just going to town on him. I thought, that's one of the most real-looking eliminations that you've seen in a long time. Didn't expect Bryan to win. I knew obviously it had to be a face to go against Roman Reigns, but I thought fair on Bryan, and I thought the way they dealt with what happened next was booked to how it should have been done. So
it was a great booked match. Actually, I think all of them came out well. Sami Zayn was good. I thought Kevin Owens was brilliant. I was going to say actually, one, he did a "You Talk Too Much," so that will be on Botchamania this month. Did you see he did a "You Talk Too Much"? He's going to we did it. Also, a question. My first random question to you guys was, when I was just watching Kevin Owens and Cesaro, they've got such a cool move set. So I started thinking, for you guys, who's got the best moveset? Obviously, Skillet, Brett has got one of the best movesets. Owen Hart, you got to think. I think
RVD, Rob Van Dam has a great moveset.
Rob Van Dam, British Bulldog, I was thinking. And then obviously Cesaro, Kevin Owens. But yeah,
Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect had a great moveset as well. Mr. Perfect.
And the most beautiful finisher of all time.
Yeah. Sean moveset was far too John Cena-ish for me.
What do you mean?
You know, the whole throwing you off the ropes, doing the dive in, fist jump, flipping back up.
It got like
very showman-y, you know. Now, here's the thing, like, he's great. Sean's one of the greats, but people don't really talk about these things with like a bit in a wrestling match. You're not gonna do that every match. Realistically, you're gonna look at wrestling, and I know it's all scripted. But in a wrestling match, no one's gonna allow you to be able to throw a man, do a diving thing, elbow drop, flip back up. You're not gonna. He's not gonna. That's not gonna always happen. That's why I love Brett, because Brett never did the same thing all the time.
And his moves look like they actually did. For instance, well, we know Shawn Michaels. He didn't go to that next level until he had the super kick. Do you remember when he had that shitty side suplex?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that was the first move Shawn had that actually looked like it did something. While all of Brett's look like they, Ace, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with all of the names you just said. I'm literally trying to think of more to add to that list. But yeah, perfect.
Is Ziggler on that list? Seth Rollins, is he on that list?
I think Seth Rollins.
I think Seth, yeah.
Cesaro definitely.
Cesaro, obviously, yeah.
Cesaro, Seth, Eddie
Guerrero, for sure.
Yeah.
Just to Skillet's point, I think when you're at the very top of the card, like the Shawn Michaels, like the John Cena's, the Rocks, your moveset becomes very theatrical because they want the crowds to know what's coming next.
Right.
You know, when the Rock used to do the spine buster, you know he's going round to the head of the people to get the crowd amped for the people's elbow. When you're like in the mid card and you're more of the worker kind of guy, that's where you can switch up your moveset and it doesn't have to be as dedicated to almost like theater, like I say.
I agree.
And my other highlight of this match was obviously Cesaro's new sparkly silver pants.
So when Brian won, Roman Reigns comes down. When Brian won, Roman Reigns came down, ring the bell, went for the spear. Brian reversed it into the yes lock, which was a great reversal, by the way. And then Reigns kind of fought his way back off him, kept punching him in the face, kept punching him, then choked him out. A very good finish, a very good way to kick off the Elimination Chamber. And Reigns is still killing it, still doing good stuff. So we'll talk more about Reigns going on when we talk about Raw and whatnot. Then we had the triple threat match, Riddle, Lashley, and John Morrison for the United States Championship. This was a fun match. I think Riddle was really good. I really enjoyed Riddle in this match, actually. Very impressive. And Morrison did his thing and Lashley did his thing. And Morrison got pinned by Riddle, and then Riddle became the new United States Championship. Let's go with Ace. Ace, what did you think of this match?
Great match, man. I mean, Met called it, but I didn't see it. I think Bobby Lashley didn't lose anything, continues to look dominant. I thought it was a good match. I enjoyed it. I like the outcome, actually.
Yeah, me too. Flu?
Yeah, fine. Yep. It was I mean, obviously it sucks for Morrison as always that he's just been put in simply to take the pin, but it's a way of giving a title to Riddle, which is good, and it's a way of obviously moving Bobby Lashley up to the next level, which is good for some people.
Oh, you're not a Lashley fan?
No. He's
not that bad. Though. He's improved.
He can't cut a promo, and when he's in the ring, I always feel like an error's coming. He never looks super confident in what he's doing. He's always got this kind of even when he did that spear at the end of the match against Strowman, he had to bounce off the ropes twice because he didn't quite know where Strowman was, and then he's incredible, obviously, and he deserves to be at the next level because he looks amazing. He looks amazing in the suit, and he's former armies in incredible shape. So everything Vince like, but unfortunately, I'm a promo confident in the ring guy, and he's neither of those things. But don't get me wrong, he does. When you look at the roster now, who else are you going to push? There's not much main level talent with history left.
Okay, I felt like his promos on Raw wasn't bad.
That shot of him at the end, like raising the belt on top of that to me, this was like, yo, you need to be champion, bro.
He looks right.
He just looked perfect. Like,
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying though. Maybe that's why MVP just needs to talk. Like, just don't let him speak. Don't give him a mic. But he looks like the champion to me.
Yeah.
He looks so good.
All right, then Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler defeated Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. Flu, what did you think of this tag match? Any fun memories? Any good moments in your opinion?
Well, I definitely watched it, and there was definitely a pin at the end. And let me tell you, right. I think I'm right, definitely. Next.
I think this match was kind of pointless when it was all said and done, because it's like the one thing this match should have done was forwarded Bianca and Sasha and, you know, maybe cause some heat between them or something. And it didn't do that. Obviously, Reginald tried to get Sasha Banks to bottle whoever was in the ring with Sasha Banks, which I thought was a bit violent, but she never done it. She got caught by the referee. She got Samoan dropped and pinned, and that's the women's champion getting pinned by a Samoan drop, which I thought was, you know, kind of funny. And then obviously on Raw last night, Nia Jax pinned Asuka, so she's pinned both women's champions in consecutive nights, which is, I guess, another conversation for another day. But I just thought this match didn't have any purpose, like, especially because it didn't forward their story.
Okay, yeah, I think that's probably fair. Actually.
Where did the Smear guy come from? Skillet, come on, you must know his. Is he help? Where's he come from? Who is he?
No idea. I only heard about him when he came to the main roster. I never knew anything about him beforehand.
His name is Akeem Young. He was signed to NXT, I think, 2019. I know he wrestled about two. You know, there's like house show NXT matches, so very developmental. I don't know if he has any wrestling background before that. He was in the circus before that, but yeah, he's basically jumped over NXT and been attached to Carmella, and Vince clearly likes him because he's in consecutive, you know, segments and TV shows with the women's champion. So
has he dropped Carmella now?
She dropped look like.
It seems like they're in cahoots.
He dropped him, but I think he's going to go, and I think Carmella's going to go like this. I think he's going up the card. I think she's going down. It looks like.
I don't know. They might be in cahoots. They might be trying to plot something. I don't know.
Yeah. Carmella kind of hinted at something on SmackDown, saying that make sure you do the right thing in regards to Sasha Banks. That's what she said to him before she proceeded to take some wine from the cup he gave her, spit it back in there, and then throw it at him during the COVID era. But yeah.
Love it.
All right. Drew McIntyre defeated AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton, and Sheamus to retain the WWE Championship before something happened at the end. But before we talk about that, this match was quite fun. I really enjoyed the how everybody's talking to Randy Orton when he made his entrance in the pods. Kofi kept saying that your quads look thick. Your quads look thick. And and I think Randy was trying so hard not to laugh, and then he went around, and AJ was like, "Yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" And Shane was like, "Come on, there, let's do something." And Uso was saying something. They're all talking smack to Randy.
Uso.
Uso.
What's wrong with you, bro?
Oh yeah, no, Uso wasn't in this. It was Jeff Hardy. Oh, I have a question for you guys.
Here we go. Here we go.
Jeff Hardy.
We answered this already, man. He's finished. Next question.
No,
bro.
I'm just saying, like, without him in the Hardys.
Did we answer this? We answered this last week.
Did he ever have a good solo career?
Yes.
When?
Yeah. He was
Against
a
Punk.
champion, bro.
He's the champion.
I think he had a really good run. He had a couple of good things with Triple H, and I think he had a really good run with Punk.
That's because of Punk.
Exactly correct.
Did Jeff have a good, like, all right, name me some memorable Jeff Hardy solo moments. I can name you a countless amount of times he's been memorable in the Hardys, but as a solo career, name me some classic moments.
Him and Taker.
Okay. See that?
On the Monday Night Raw, yep, I'll give you that.
Do you think
him against Rob Van Dam, Invasion, that was great. That's a great match.
Matt had a better solo career then?
I think so.
I would say
It's
so because he's more creative.
There's an argument for that.
Jeff winning the WWE title. Okay, fair enough. Jeff, Matt Hardy, WrestleMania. That was cool. Jeff did some stuff in TNA. Okay. But
Willow.
I don't know. I just feel he's a bit overrated. I'm going to get cussed out.
Overrated as a singles competitor, that is.
In general. Like Hardy's legendary tag team. Great stuff. Epic stuff. Like, I'm not taking none of that away from him. Bonafide Hall of Famer, for sure. Definitely a Hall of Famer. But I just don't know if he's as great as people think he is.
If this is your argument for as a singles wrestler, I'll hear it. But for tag team, I'm not trying to hear that, bro.
No. Oh, Flu's
legendary.
Did I upset Flu? Did I upset Flu? He looks like he's gone.
With a laptop.
He's a legend. He's a legend for sure. But anyway, let's keep.
I won't watch the Hardys if Jeff wasn't in it.
Yeah, I agree. And don't get me wrong. I love the Hardys. They're like one of my favorite tag teams. But yeah, okay. Let's keep going. What did you think of this match, Ace?
So what we talk? Yeah, it was alright. It wasn't as good as the first one.
No,
but yeah, it was decent. I like Elimination Chamber matches. Actually, I've only just realized I was like, actually really do enjoy this match. Yeah. But yeah, it was decent. It was good. It was good.
I like the touch when almost broke open the door so AJ could come in and try and pin people. Was that Ace?
That was sick.
Yeah, that was good. But almost he's not really effective in my opinion. And they need to start making him effective.
Right.
But
did you see him on Raw this week?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. So after Drew McIntyre, I love the Claymore kick from the Styles phenomenal forearm. Mm-hmm. I think Drew really caught some air with that one. That was really cool. A really nice finish. So after Drew McIntyre retained the title, Bobby Lashley attacked Drew McIntyre, beating him up badly. He really took a whooping, Drew. And then The Miz cashed in, as Ace predicted last week on the Kickout. And The Miz became a 2-time champion, 10 years apart from when he first cashed in to win it all those years ago against Randy Orton. So, I also did like that Randy Orton lost the Kofi clean on this match. I really like that. That was cool. But yes, Flu, your thoughts on Miz cashing in on Drew McIntyre?
It's a really weird one because at first I was like, oh, you're kidding. There's two sides of it. One, even though it's last minute booking, I do kind of like the storyline that's coming out. I like the idea of mixing lots of characters together. It's very Attitude Era when lots of different elements would be in the pot. So I like that. If I've got a problem, it's because mid-card level, which is what he is, could sometimes go up to top card. But if you remember back in the days, Ted DiBiase was always kept quite strong. Ravishing Rick Rude was always kept quite strong. So these Owen Hart was always kept quite strong. So when they did need to step up, it was believable.
Yeah.
The problem with the Miz thing, even though it is the storyline that he's meant to be a chicken S heel and stuff like that, because he hasn't been kept strong, I've lost interest in the character. In which case, I don't care. So I'm interested in this. It's certainly more interesting than Drew just going to WrestleMania, with a challenger and stuff like that. But I just don't care about The Miz anymore, even though on Raw he did an incredible promo and he, those stats he was given, you can't mess with that. I think him and Sheamus, like secretly, have got the most incredible stats, but you just wouldn't know it. But for me, just because he hasn't been kept strong and because he's been used as a kind of, it doesn't ring true. But I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
Okay. Ace, are you happy with this? You called it last week. Are you happy that it came true?
I think, like Flu said, has Miz only ever cashed in to become WWE champion?
Yeah, twice.
That's the only way he's ever won it. That's a bit shit, isn't it?
No, but that's a really good.
He's good for his character, though.
Yeah,
you're right, but I think it fits him.
Yeah, he got it properly one way, surely. But yeah, I don't mind it because.
But Ace, who realistically, if you're booking Ace to beat anyone for the title without cashing in, who's it like?
Yeah,
I think it fits Miz perfectly.
Like, I wouldn't even mind if obviously he's probably going to drop this title sometime soon. But if they made like a storyline from here where someone brings that up, like even maybe the WWE champion at the time brings it up. Like, you've only ever won this title via cashing in, you know, try actually winning it genuinely without sneak attacking somebody. That could be a nice little way to get him over as a babyface.
That's true.
Next.
He's definitely transitional though. I don't think he'll have it for the I don't think Bobby Lashley will win it next week, but I do think he'll win it at Fastlane.
Okay. Next.
Yeah, share the same sentiment with Flu and Ace. I don't mind Miz winning it. But the issue is he's been booked so poorly and basically as a joker for the last year or so with him and Morrison. So it's like it's not even really believable. And then, yeah, he's surely going to drop this before WrestleMania. There's a lot of reports saying that they've already kind of started planning what the WWE Championship picture is going to look like at WrestleMania, and Miz isn't in it. So, you know, he started a storyline with Bad Bunny, which I'm sure they're going to get back to. Eventually, Bad Bunny's going to clown him for dropping his championship, and that's probably going to be a WrestleMania match, Bad Bunny versus The Miz. So,
yeah, I could see that. I could see the Bad Bunny being the reason why The Miz loses the title and them two have a match together for the 24/7 championship match.
I don't know, but you know what? I wouldn't mind The Miz run as champion, but the problem is this season, like, everyone is so invested in the product. This has to be like one of them, you know, when you got Backlash and all of them pay-per-views back to back. That's when Miz can be champion, but I don't think right now is the time for him.
All right. Okay, cool. So that was the Elimination Chamber. Flu's gone missing again. We'll probably get him back when he can. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw. It kicked off with The Miz cutting a promo celebrating his title victory with John Morrison. They were celebrating it together. Then MVP and Lashley interrupted. MVP said, because we forgot to mention MVP is the one that kind of gave the advice to Miz to cash in tonight.
They made a deal, business deal.
They made a deal, but Miz doesn't want to hold up his bargain in the end of the deal because he doesn't want to defend his title against Bobby Lashley. Some words were exchanged. Did Adam Pearce come out? He did a terrible job of trying to stop them. No, it's later on, wasn't it?
It's later on in the night, yeah.
It was later on. So, how did that promo end again, Mex? The first one.
Basically, when Hurt Business came out, they congratulated Miz for being champion. Miz said, "Thank you guys. I appreciate that, but you know, I've got business to attend to, so you lot can basically run along." MVP said business isn't over. You know, part of the deal was that Bobby Lashley would get first dibs on the title. He said that, you know, I'm WWE champion, so I'm so busy. I got interviews, PR, this, that, and the other to do. And Bobby Lashley then basically chiefed him up, grabbed him by his collar, and said, you know, I'm gonna brutalize you. I'm gonna make it painful, this, that, and the other, and it's gonna be awesome. I think that was probably one of the best promos I've seen Bobby Lashley cut in years. And then,
definitely.
He gave him 1 hour to basically come back with a response that he was going to take him on for the championship, or he was going to beat up Miz, basically.
There we go. Then we had Riddle and Lucha House Party cutting quite a fun promo backstage about Riddle winning the United States Championship.
I'm really glad. I've been saying for ages that the Lucha Party should get more mic time because they've got so much to say. They've got such a backstory, such interesting characters. I've been saying for a long. I don't know if you've seen my website, www.pleasegiveluchaparty more mic time. But if everyone could go on that now, because I think we'll all agree what we need is Grand Metalik to be saying some weird, hey, that's cool. No, yeah, what?
Well, thank you, Flu. I will make sure everybody tunes into your website.
Website in the description.
Riddle defeated John Morrison to retain the United States Championship. It was quite a fun match. New Day defeated Retribution. Okay, I need to say something about this match, right?
Thank you. What happened?
See that guy, yeah, in Retribution, yeah, not Slapjack, not Dominik Dijakovic, whatever his new name is now. What's his new name? Not T-Bar. See that Mace guy, yeah. That guy, what's his name? Mace. What's his real name?
Dio Madden.
Right. See him, yeah. He needs to go. I don't want to see this guy in a wrestling ring ever again. You see what he did?
What's the issue with him?
He botched it. Did you watch the ending of the match when he botched the ending?
What was that?
Kofi was supposed to do something. I think he was supposed to do something, and then he didn't know what to do. He was moving around, and Ali was looking at him like, mate, you're supposed to move or something. He didn't move in time. Kofi had to give him the that kick he does. What's it called? The SOS kick.
Trouble in Paradise.
Trouble in Paradise. And then Dijakovic had to come in and he had to get one. But listen, that base guy, he's not a good wrestler, and I don't think he ever will be.
Charlotte and Lacey did that exact same forgetful spot like a couple of weeks ago.
That's okay.
That's learning how to wrestle.
That's okay, Max. Do you know what that's okay? Charlotte and Lacey has proven that they can wrestle. This guy, he's not going to be good ever. I don't want to see it ever again. Okay, look at my eyes. All right, Vince, never again.
Did you see Naya's botches on Sunday?
Yeah, I think she's terrible too. She needs to go.
Oh my days. She was like, she was holding Sasha up in the air for like 10 minutes. Like, there's one part, Bianca's just like, give her to me.
Hurt Business had a really good match with Lucha House Party. I think Cedric and Shelton are looking great together now. It's starting to click. That was an amazing match. And it was a tornado match, right? You don't get to see those much often, tornado matches. That was good. R-Truth tried to get a referee to organize some sort of situation where he could pin Bad Bunny, got caught out by Damian Priest. R-Truth kept calling Bad Bunny Bugs Bunny.
Hey, Ace, what do you think? Tell us about what you think about this Bad Bunny stuff, Ace.
It's enough now. I'm done. I am finished. It's enough. It's actually enough. I think it's not doing anything for Damian Priest. I think actually it's not making him look good at all. I think it's like, so what happens after Bad Bunny leaves? Nah, it's just, I just think it's really bad. I think it's really bad. I mean, it's enough.
This is another reason Miz has got the title though, because they want to have, because obviously Bad Bunny apparently YouTube, what do you young people call them? Views.
Streams.
Thank you, young man. No, yeah. They're getting amazing views, getting amazing merchandise sales and stuff like that. So are they just trying to put Miz, because and it's just a little bit of media attention because they've literally got nothing else? Is that another reason for all of this, man? I mean, they wouldn't, would they? They wouldn't Bad Bunny, Miz, title, Fastlane, would they? Would they?
I feel like WWE are going to be in for a very big shock when crowds come back because the people that they think are going to get cheered are getting booed.
Yep, they're getting away with murder right now with all their booking decisions.
They're getting away with murder, so they're like able to just do stuff. And I think this is one of those things that if it was in front of crowds, Bad Bunny would be getting booed, Damian Priest would be getting booed. Like it wouldn't be working in the way that they think it's working. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In the same way that we know that Roman Reigns would be getting cheered. Like so, yeah. It looks like crowds are coming back, and I think they're gonna have a bad reaction for Bad Bunny.
They've been getting away with this button that literally says cheer and
yes, exactly.
Last night, when Shane McMahon came out, they hit a bloody Shane O'Mac button, and I was thinking, are you being serious? Like
that was so annoying.
It was the way he reacted as well, didn't it? He was like, "Wow, I'm still really popular. Wow, who would have?" He looked at the others, didn't he, and was like, "Who would have thunk it? I would have thunk it. Your dad's pressing the button, mother effer."
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that segment. So Shane McMahon comes back. Well, he came back already, but he comes down to sort out this dispute between The Miz and Lashley with Adam Pearce. Shane kind of made a little sly remark against Adam Pearce again, saying, "Hey, what you doing? You're losing control of this whole thing. We'll make a match." Strowman comes down, demanding a title shot. Shane said something like, "You've never been World WWE Champion. How can you demand a title shot?" But he puts Strowman and Lashley together. Winner of that will face The Miz next week on Raw. So we'll get back to that in a bit.
I've got a couple of things to say skills on this one, actually, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, my friend.
Well, one, how has Shane McMahon, who's been in the industry his entire life, and he's been on television like 15 years, how can the man still not cut a promo properly? That's one. No. Two, I love it. This had one of my favorite things in wrestling. When someone says, what we're going to do is you're going to have a title match against me. And then someone comes out, in this case, Braun Strowman, and they grab the mic and they say the immortal wrestling words, "If anyone's going to get a title shot, it's me." And it made me think I would love a piece of booking where, say, Austin came out and The Rock And then Hogan came out and went, if anyone's getting a title shot, it's me. And then the bell tolled and the Undertaker comes out and he's like, if anyone's getting a title shot, it's me. And then the woo goes off and Ric Flair comes out. If anyone's... Wouldn't it be better if like 20 legends just say that?
Okay. I would love that.
While we're pulling apart this segment, I've got one thing, yeah. Like, why are they booking Braun Strowman as an idiot? Like 2 weeks ago, yeah, they told he said backstage to Adam Pearce he wants to be in the Elimination Chamber match. They said this is for former WWE champions. He said, I am one. Adam Pearce said, no, you're a former Universal champion. Again, he came down to the ring and had the exact same argument with Shane McMahon. I should have been in this match. Shane McMahon said, no, like you said, you're a former Universal champion. This match is for WWE champions. Why are they booking him like he's thick?
Yeah.
Like he can't understand.
Then he looks clean.
He's just taken the Big Show script, isn't he? They're like, oh, Big Show's not here anymore. Script
Here you go.
Yeah. And they just hand it in.
You know, it's true.
You're a face. You're a heel. You're a face.
It's true. I forgot to mention the Miz is the second ever 2-time Grand Slam champion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is it Shawn and the Miz?
I don't know who the first one is.
I think Shawn Michaels the first one.
Okay.
You sure?
Maybe not.
I think he said he was the first ever 2-time Grand Slam champion. So everybody's Grand Slam, but I think they're suggesting he's the first one who's done it all twice, isn't he? Or have I made that up?
No,
Was Shawn a Grand Slam champion?
What's that?
Shawn did.
Yeah. He was the first ever Grand Slam champion.
I don't remember Shawn having a US title. Or he wasn't a US title at the
Oh,
time.
no, he had the European at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure someone said that Chris Jericho is, but yeah, there might be technicalities around that, but yeah.
Guys, I gotta love you and leave you. But is there anything I want to say about Raw?
Well,
Right, you guys are wrong. Ha ha
I was gonna say, before you go, Ace, can I just have your thoughts on the Randy Orton promo?
ha. Shall I tell you what the funniest thing was?
Yep.
So I was watching it with my missus, and she was like, "So what? The cameraman's not going to help him?"
Your missus has too much logic. So they did that whole Undertaker throw up angle now. Oh, is this ridiculous?
I'm just gonna carry on filming you. I know there's group black stuff coming out. Nah. Yeah, it's this going a bit deep. I don't like the satanic stuff as well. That's not.
Yeah.
I don't really like that stuff, but we'll see how it goes.
All right.
I'm not angry at it.
Okay.
It was a Papa Shango on the Warrior reference as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So, but at the same time, absolutely, it's almost like Randy's come back and they've said, "Okay, I'm going to sign one more contract. I don't care. Give me any shit you've got, Vince. You've always wanted to do the mask thing. Give me the fucking mask. What else? You want a little girl to be scaring me? Oh yeah, no problem. Oh, you want to bring back Papa Shango? No problem. Just give me." He's like Bruce Willis's later movie career. He's just like, just pay me. Just pay me.
And Ace, sorry, one more before you go.
God.
The Charlotte Ric Flair promo. I think this promo was excellent.
Do you know what? It was just a little bit. It was maybe like 2 minutes too long.
Yeah,
you know, it's like dragging on, and it's like we get it. Everything you said has cut through, but it's just it was like an extended EastEnders scene. It was just a little bit too long for me. A little bit too much.
I predict Asuka is going to turn on Charlotte, and Asuka will have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler by her side now.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they're going to be
by her side, but
they're going to be a faction. I think.
Nah.
Modern day female demolition. That'd be
Something like that.
And I still think it's going to be Edge and Miz at Mania. Nah. It's not.
No.
All right, guys.
All right. See you there, Ace. Take care.
Take care, man.
later, bro.
Sheamus defeated Jeff Hardy.
I actually thought the end of this match was really solid. Really hard hitting.
Okay, you know what? I take back what I said about Jeff. I was being a bit harsh.
No, it's not so much Jeff, because the problem is he does just, when he jumps off the top now, he just looks like a bag of spuds.
Yeah.
With respect, as in, don't do it to yourself. But I mean, as in Sheamus, hard hitting, hit the ropes, hitting with the bro kick.
Sheamus is one of the best.
He's probably one of my...
He's one of the best.
People I like, yeah.
He's one of the best. But I'm saying I'm taking back what I said about Jeff earlier. I was being a bit too hard.
Respect.
He had a decent solo career. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. And I think there's a little bit of overratedness with Jeff. I think people see him as one of the greats. And
You're right. You're right. And obviously, I think it's abundantly clear to see Vince McMahon loves Jeff Hardy. Yeah. He has given this guy chance after chance with everything else that's happened in his life. So obviously, he put him in a decent position. And Jeff is a fan favorite. Jeff can do no wrong. That's why Jeff can lose to Sheamus and no one's going to question it. He'll come out next week and everyone will cheer him again. Like, I don't even know, has Jeff had a heel run in WWE ever before?
No.
Never.
I think you can almost tell as well, all these old superstars that come back, there's the ones like Michaels came back, he did all right. Edge has come back, it looks like he's doing all right. Daniel Bryan, but it looks like, some of these other, Lashley for a certain time, he came back and it didn't look like he was doing anything. They obviously are now. But Jeff Hardy, I don't think they ever had planned to do anything with him, didn't they? But
no. A lot of people
want away from his brother.
A lot of people want to see him go for that title again, though, but I don't.
I think he wants to see that happen. I don't think anyone really does.
But Miz is the champion, and the top guys are Randy Orton, and so it could easily happen, couldn't it? Let's look at it.
Lana, Naomi defeated Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. Looks like Naomi and Lana are clicking as a tag team, and obviously AJ Styles.
She's really happy about that. I bet Naomi's really happy about that.
And AJ Styles defeated Ricochet and almost attacks him with that choke slam, that Prince Albert style, without going down. Obviously, he just drops him. Choke slam. And obviously, Lashley defeats Braun Strowman to get a title shot against The Miz next week. So, guys, do you think Lashley will do it, the big one, next week on Raw? Do you think Lashley is going to win the WWE Championship, or do you think someone is going to interrupt? And if somebody interrupts, who do you think? Because I've got my 2 cents.
It's McIntyre.
You think McIntyre?
McIntyre's not letting this match happen. No way. These guys collectively screwed him for his WWE Championship. So, conspicuous by his absence last night, he's definitely got to show up and, just get this match thrown out, run into the match, Claymore, maybe when Bobby Lashley's just about to win. And
then triple threat at Fastlane.
Yep.
I think he's nailed it there.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's it. I was gonna say Lesnar, but let's squash that one.
That's your dream book, and Lesnar ain't coming to no crowd.
Yeah. He's gonna come back to Mania. Mania's gonna got a crowd.
I don't think he's coming back for 20,000, bro.
If he does, he'll be a surprise appearance at Mania. I don't think he's doing any build up. He's not doing nothing at the moment. Yeah. But I think you've called it exactly there, mate. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
In fact, spoilers.
Samoa Joe talks he might be making a return into the in-ring, but he's not putting a timeline stamp on it. Mex, what do you think? You want to see Samoa Joe back in the ring?
Yeah, obviously, when putting together the show, you mentioned this. I want to see him back in the ring, but at the same time of saying this, so there's a show on the network called WWE Bump. I think it's just a little chat show that Kayla Braxton hosts. Yeah, he's now got a segment on that show apparently where he interviews like wrestlers and stuff. So, is his journalism career kicking off, or is he getting back in the ring? You see what I mean? So,
I think as in look what happened with Taz. They didn't have much faith in him. He went to commentary and he's found a whole nother career out of it. Do you think it's the same with Samoa Joe? He's done it and he's like, I found this, because I would love to have Samoa Joe back skills, as you say. But the fact is, what was he doing before? He'll be losing to Baron Corbin in a couple of weeks. And it's just like, well, what's the point in coming back?
I think the problem with Joe is that, like I think we've seen with a lot of stars, the minute they want to do something with you and you get injured, they don't trust to put you back there.
Yeah.
He's
when we say they, you know exactly who you mean when you say they.
So, I think the concussions and stuff is probably, a step too far right now. If he ever comes back, he's not going any higher than maybe the US Championship or something like that. But yeah.
Sasha Banks was on the Broken Skull show. I didn't get to see it, Mex, but you spoke highly of it on Twitter. What takes did you get from that interview?
It was just, Stone Cold has never hidden. He's complete fan of Sasha Banks and Bayley. and Bailey was on the show a couple of weeks ago. Sasha Banks was on the one that they put out after Elimination Chamber, I think, and he just ran through her entire career. And after WrestleMania 35, or they talked about the mental health of her around WrestleMania 35, where she spoke about, I think sometime in 2018, she was doing nothing, basically. She was just being thrown into tag matches with no storyline or anything. And it's like, well, that's when she started campaigning. If you're going to keep putting me in tag matches, let's get tag belts for the women. Let's make this kind of make sense. And that happened. Her and Bailey became the first ever women's tag champions. And then that was at Elimination Chamber 2019. Then at WrestleMania, they lost them to Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, the Iconics. Stone Cold asked, was that the right decision? She said, what do you think? Like, if they went on to then have a killer run, then yeah, it was the right decision, but they didn't know how to use them, sort of thing. And that's, poor girls as well. They suffered that fate. So she said, I think with her, it's pretty much, I know my worth. I know how good I am. And you guys didn't have nothing for me, mixed with, burnout, because she had been back to back on TV, on NXT and everything. Through all the way she came up to the main roster in 2015 and was a mainstay immediately, on the main roster. And I think it was all just kind of burnout, maybe not being underappreciated. And that's why she walked away from the business for about 4 or 5 months. She asked Vince to leave, she said. Vince, she asked Vince that she wants to throw it in and quit. Vince said, I'm not letting you quit, but have a think about it. Come back in 30 days. Let me know your decision. In the end, she took 4 months or so. She went to Japan. She went to train in Japan and stuff. Came back, was a new person. And that's clearly why you see in this last year, they've just given her the ball and she's just ran with it. Tag champion, women's champion. But it was just a great story for motivation, knowing how good you are, not letting kind of slow you down, and just backing yourself. So yeah, I find it quite motivating.
Should she drop the belt to Bianca at WrestleMania, or should she retain? I'll go with Flu first.
Oh yeah, she's got to drop the belt. She's had a pretty good run, just because she's had a run. She's never had a run before, and you've got to pull the trigger on Belinda. So yeah, gotta pull the trigger on the old Belinda lady.
Max,
I think you've got a legitimate possible top female star there. You push her, and then you come back, and you got Becky Lynch, you got her, but you got Ronda Rousey,
and now Rhea Ripley as well. Rhea Ripley as well.
Rhea Ripley, you'd be nuts not to pull the trigger on all of them. Yeah.
You know what? I wasn't thinking like this a couple of weeks ago. I was saying Sasha should retain, but I absolutely agree with Flu. Bianca is a star, and yeah, you can't. Yeah, there's certain things you can delay and do later. This is not one of them. You have to push the trigger on Bianca.
It's very much like how we're talking, the Bobby Lashley situation. You have to strike when the iron's hot.
Yeah.
And that's the case right now. So you guys are very right in what you're saying. My one fear is that, obviously, like I said, we can't lie, as good as Sasha has been, they are course correcting for everything that she complained about since she was away. That's why they gave her the tag championship, the Raw Women's Championship. She lost that. She won the SmackDown Women's Championship. She's having this run where she should have had, before. Sasha Banks has never won at WrestleMania. She's had 5 matches at WrestleMania and never won any of them. Is this, are they going to give her a WrestleMania moment now? And that is my only thing that I'm thinking. Will they ultimately piss her off? I think she gets it though, and I don't think she would mind losing to Bianca Belair, because you can see that Bianca's very special. But I think at the same time, Sasha is due a WrestleMania moment, so to speak.
Yeah.
So does that come this year at Bianca's expense?
That's
I don't mind if she actually beats Bianca Belair at WrestleMania, and then maybe Bianca Belair wins it at SummerSlam. Or Bianca Belair, maybe it'll be too much for her to win Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank in the same year, but maybe picks it up at SummerSlam. But yeah, I just still think, although I think Bianca should win, there's something in my head that's saying Sasha Banks is due a WrestleMania moment.
I agree with you. It's a tough one, but that's why we're happy that you're on the show here. And history will be made no matter what when that match happens at WrestleMania. Before we sign out, we want to address the crowd. We want to address the Kickout followers. We would like Anyone that tweets at us, shows us support, to please just send us your questions as well. We would like to kind of do some Q&A, and we would like to answer some of your questions. So please DM us at Kickout Podcast on Twitter, or on Instagram is the Kickout Podcast. And any questions you have, please let us know. And also, what kind of schedules and what days would you like us to do the show? We do some recaps after a Raw or after a pay-per-view. I know a lot of Kickout listeners wants us to talk more about AEW. So please give us any feedback you have, but just DM us on the Twitter or on Instagram. Anything else before we sign out, Max? Anything before we sign out?
No, obviously we, like you mentioned, Rhea Ripley's coming up soon. I don't buy into the vignettes because I think Rhea Ripley has been on the main roster enough times already. She was at Survivor Series a couple of years ago. She's done Royal Rumble. They advertised a women's match for Elimination Chamber that they said Lacey Evans wasn't going to be in it and Asuka would have a random opponent. They done that on the pre-show and Asuka was nowhere to be seen on the main card. And if they want to make a star overnight, like they know how to do, because they done it with Paige, they basically done it with Finn Balor despite him getting injured. Rhea Ripley should have come up and won that championship, on Sunday at the Elimination Chamber. I just
very good shout. Great shout.
All of this coming soon and stuff. It's like we know who she is. We're not even like excited to see her because we know you guys will probably fumble her.
That's a good shout.
I don't want to be weird, but there's not some kind of weird Japanese business deal on at the moment, is there, where they need to have her? I hate to say it like that, but I know that they're about to sell the WWE app to Cricket or whatever it's called. So they're doing all these big business. It's not something as weird as that, is it? That they just need a champion.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know why they're not utilizing Asuka. It's a bit weird. It's a bit of a weird one. Oh, a lot of Kickout followers who listened to the last episode of the podcast noticed that at the intro, I put the Skillet single up as the intro. That is my self-rapping for those who don't know who it is. I have a new single out. It's called The Ambassador, Ryan Skillet. You can find it in all streaming platforms everywhere, iTunes, Spotify. I'll be releasing some songs on a weekly basis, hopefully. That's the plan. So stay tuned. Yeah, follow my YouTube channel at Skillet World, SKILLIT World. All right, that's me signing out. Flu, Max, anything before we go?
Of course. Remember, you don't spit into the wind, you don't tug Superman's cape, and you don't doubt the wealth of the $1 Million Nail.
Before you guys go, I had a random question. If you were given the power to be Vince McMahon for the day, who would you push to the very, very top, and who would you call into your office to give them the words, "You're fired"? Has to be one wrestler of each. One you will fire, one you will push to the top.
I would push Aleister Black to the top with a match against Cesaro at WrestleMania, and I would call I don't know, I don't care. I would call Vince McMahon and all of Vince McMahon's team into the office, and I would fire them.
Max,
in a shocking kind of reverse way, I think I would actually fire Aleister Black just so he can go. Nothing against him, he's absolutely brilliant, but just so he can be free of the shackles of WWE, because even if they pushed him to the moon, how long will it be before it all came crashing down again?
Yeah.
So, let him go and be free elsewhere. There's Japan, there's AEW. He'll make a good money on the indies or whatever. And for me, just as someone I've always liked, and his run was kind of cut short because of injury, I want to see Finn Balor get another shot at the big time. So I would book Finn and Cedric to the top, and I will call what's his name again? His name was Striker in Matt Striker.
No, he was Striker in TNA, but he's got a different alias now in WWE. He's like Elias's lackey.
Jackson Riker.
We get rid of the Trump boys, will we? Yeah.
I'll get Riker and I'll get Mace for Retribution. And I'll set them down. and I say, yeah, fire. Thank you, guys. That's the pick out. We're signing out. Good night.
See you later.